Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to Lewis Learning with Sonwa. This is episode 6 of Learning with Sonwa, our isiXhosa learning series where we use In Search of Happiness. In Search of Happiness is a novel that's set in South Africa. So you get to learn the language isiXhosa, and you also get to know about the things that make us happy as a country, as a nation, and also some of the things that are challenging in our country, so that you learn within a context as well. So today we are with the blurb, and we are translating the book as we go along. We're still with the blurb, and you know how we do it. I read the full blurb for you so that you have a picture of where we are, and we zone in on the part that we want to translate today. So let's get into it. Nana is 15 when she travels from her village to the city. Okay, start again. Nana is 15 when she travels from her village in the Eastern Cape to the city. She is overjoyed to be reunited with her family, even if they are living in a tiny shack. But she struggles to fit in at her new school, and she is shocked at the violence shown to Chino and Agnes, her Zimbabwean neighbors. When she and Agnes become close friends and find love in unexpected places, Nana learns firsthand just how brutal ignorance can be and how hard it is to hold on to happiness. So this is the blurb of the book that contains or that covers this fictional story set in South Africa about different things on different themes of love, themes of displacement, themes of understanding each other, working better with each other. It's on those different themes this book set in South Africa. Now the part that we are zoning in today is even if they are living in a tiny shack. Even if they are living in a tiny shack. How would you translate that? Or how would you say that in isiXhosa? In isiXhosa, it would be nokuba bahlala kwityotyombe elincinci. Even if they are living in a tiny shack, nokuba bahlala kwityotyombe elincinci. Even if, nokuba, even though, nokuba, bahlala, they live, kwityotyombe, that's the word used, one of the words used in South Africa, Xhosa word for a shack, we use ityotyombe for a shack. Elincinci, now that describes the shack, the size of the shack. Elincinci is small. Elincinci is small, so the tiny shack. Nokuba bahlala kwityotyombe elincinci. Even if they are living in a tiny shack. So that's how you would translate that. You would translate that part into isiXhosa. Now, shacks come in different sizes in South Africa. You get really small ones, and you get ones that have different rooms. Especially of late, I've seen how people work, to make their shacks, their homes look really great inside, with proper insulation, so on, with air conditioning, and those different things. So people make things work where they are, and that's really encouraging as well. Even if they are living in a tiny shack, nokuba bahlala kwityotyombe elincinci. Now, amatyotyombe also in South Africa come about, or shacks come about, as one of the results of migration for different reasons, work migration, education, like migration, moving from village to city or from city to city for different reasons. And even in South Africa, moving from other parts of Africa into South Africa. And that then creates this high demand for space, and many people resort to building shacks for themselves in demarcated spaces to live. So we could get into that, but that's a topic for another day. Our focus today is really to learn, how would you say even if they are living in a tiny shack. We said it, please practice with me. Nokuba bahlala kwityotyombe elincinci. Now that's how you would say that part, that part of the sentence in isiXhosa. Now let's take each of these words, nokuba on its own, bahlala on its own, kwityotyombe on its own, elincinci on its own. Let's take each of these words and think of other sentences where these same words could be used as well. Starting with nokuba. So for instance, nokuba, even though, nokuba kunzima ndiyaqhubeka. What am I saying there? Nokuba kunzima ndiyaqhubeka. Even if it's hard, I keep going. Nokuba kunzima, hard ndiyaqhubeka. I keep going. So that's one example of a sentence that has that word nokuba in it. Nokuba kunzima ndiyaqhubeka. Even if it's hard, I keep going. Bahlala, how else could you use that word bahlala? Bahlala, phansi, bancokola. Now in the first instance where we're talking, even if they're living in a tiny shack, nokuba bahlala kwityotyombe elincinci, they live in there. Now in this instance, bahlala, phansi, bancokola. So bahlala is they live, bahlala, they sat also could mean also they sat down, because in this instance, they sat down and chatted or spoke or talked. They sat down and spoke. Bahlala phansi, bancokola. Bahlala phansi, bancokola. So that's how you would use that. That's how else you would use that word, bahlala. Kwityotyombe, and how else could you use that word? The shack is beautiful inside. The shack is beautiful inside. Ityotyombe lihle ngaphakathi. So the shack, ityotyombe. Now kwityotyombe is in the shack. Ityotyombe is the shack. That's the difference between those two words there. The prefixes, kwi, in the shack, kwityotyombe, ityotyombe, the shack. Lihle, beautiful. I mentioned how people also work very hard to make their shacks look more more done up or more secure. Lihle ngaphakathi. Ngaphakathi is inside. Ngaphakathi is inside. Ityotyombe lihle ngaphakathi. So that's how you'd use that word as well. Now the last word that's used there, nokuba bahlala kwityotyombe elincinci, is elincinci. The word elincinci represents tiny or small. Ilitye elincinci would mean a small stone. Ilitye elincinci, a small stone. So that's how else those words can be taken up and broken down and used differently in different sentences, in isiXhosa. Now I encourage you to please keep practicing these words. Practice. They say probably even sounds like a cliche, like practice makes perfect. I mean, it's what we do continuously that makes us confident in what we do. Because if we do it once and do it after 6 months again and do it like, especially learning a new language, I would struggle myself if I was learning a different language, a new language, if I was not doing it every day, or at least quite regularly or continuously. I would struggle. So I suggest that you keep practicing using the WhatsApp number, sending voice note and interacting with me on the WhatsApp number in our description below. Also giving you that WhatsApp number as +27 79 833 2310. +27 79 833 2310. The book In Search of Happiness that we're using to learn isiXhosa and translating this book is available for sale. Please also check with me using that WhatsApp number. Also, if you'd like to buy us coffee for this episode, please, the information you can get by interacting with me using that WhatsApp number. even if they are living in a tiny shack, nokuba bahlala kwityotyombe elincinci. This has been Learning with Sonwa, episode 6. Thank you very much. See you next time.